Wording?
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Bartwood Bicycle Rider YouTube, and I have one of my dream bikes sitting right in front of me. This is the Specialized gravel bike called the Diverge STR. So STR is suspend the rider. And that's something that I've experienced and I truly believe in now. I've been riding my Specialized Comp Carbon Diverge. Of course, I wish I had the S-Works STR. I don't. This is for a client of mine. And we are in Biloxi Bicycle Works, so thank you, Biloxi Bicycle Works. This is a company that I am co-owner in, for letting us film this bike here at the workshop. So of course this is not a staged video, but this is a bike that I think deemed a quick video on the channel just because it is that good. This is one of those bikes that's a multi-purpose bike. A lot of us have mountain bikes, a lot of us have road bikes. A lot of us have to do multi-purpose riding where sometimes we're riding with the A group, we're pushing the pace, we're trying to kick the teeth out of our friends. And sometimes we're riding with other groups where we're trying to mentor cycling, maybe with our a beginners group or a B or a C group, just to try to, keep the sport alive. So anyway, my business partner Daniel there, he can just wait here just a moment while we finish this video. But that's where this bike really comes into play. It is one of those bikes that if you want a full out race gravel bike, Specialized makes something called the Crux. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more racy, but not quite as compliant. Then of course there's a lot of gravel bikes that are on the other spectrum where they're just built mainly for comfort and adventure, and this bike I think blends that well. Of course, being the S-Works model, it is going to be light, it's going to be fast. This is a 20-pound bike, full suspension mountain bike, and like I said, it kind of blends in between a mountain bike and a gravel bike. And when you're talking, or mountain bike and a road bike, and when you're talking gravel bike, I think that's what a lot of people want, something that they can ride in multiple places doing multiple things. Some of us might want to take a road trip and we don't have room for a gravel bike, a mountain bike, and a road bike. You can take a bike like this and pretty much ride any terrain on. I personally ride a gravel bike a lot in the urban environments. Out here in Biloxi, Mississippi, we don't have a lot of gravel right out our bicycle shop. We don't have a lot of A-group pavement right out our bicycle shop, but we could sure turn this urban environment into an urban playground all afternoon long with a gravel bike. It just smooths out the roads. It's still super fast. You can get into, aerodynamic position in the drop bars and just have a great day of riding in multiple situations. And that's what this bike is for. Here in Biloxi, we do a lot of gravel riding. We've got something we call the High Noon Showdown. High Noon Showdown is a faster paced gravel ride, and I do lead that ride a lot. Later in the afternoon, we turn it into more of a party-paced family ride, and I lead that ride a lot as well. So I've got to lead both type of rides, and I'm not bringing two bikes to do it. I'm bringing one bike to do it. When a gravel bike like this is perfect because it does have the suspension. If you want to ride faster on the gravel and not wear yourself out, having suspension helps. I know with the Future Shock in the front end, after 45 minutes or an hour, and I see my guys I'm riding with do this, they're showing me weakness. Their hands are going numb. They're not comfortable. I can literally ride this for 4 or 5 hours at a hard pace and feel comfortable at the end of the day. Having a little bit of suspension really does help mitigate, the jarring effects and the fatigue you get. So when you can get a balanced front and rear suspension on a bike, but still keep it light, still keep it agile, and keep it really efficient, Specialized has really, come up with some good technology here. And like I said, I did mention Specialized body geometry. These bikes just seem to fit me and many other riders well. They're not just making a bike. They're going into deep dives and figuring out what people want and what kind of answers we need from our bike. And I think with this model here, they've done a great job. Of course, I mentioned that this is the S-Works model. I'm not going to go over all the specs, but really this is a high-end model. They give you, features like the SWAT box. So in here you can stuff your light rain jackets, wind jackets, you can put your tools. Everything goes into the tube of this bike. And it also keeps it aerodynamic, so I don't have to have a big bag off the back here that possibly could be taking a lot of wetness from the gravel roads. So having the swap box is really a neat feature that I personally like and use a lot. This is a wireless shifting SRAM XX1 model, so this is one of the nicer group sets you can get on a bike, and I do love wireless shifting on a bike. One, just because inherently you're going to get grit and dirt into a cable. Anytime you have a little bit of stiction, mechanically, you've got 12 speeds, so it's very small gaps. It does cause some problems. When you have a servo that's moving the same every time, it really mitigates a lot of those problems, and stops shifting problems. So the electronic shifting, either Shimano Di2 or what's on this bike is the SRAM. You just can't beat it. It's really good stuff. A real close up here of the tendons. So this is the rear future shock. That's something fairly new, but Specialized has done a lot of R&D on this. And rather than just having a flexi post, you actually have a damper here that can help control that with a button, so you can control the stiffness of that dampening as well. Of course, it's got what's called a tube and a 27.2 seat post in it. So there's a lot of technology in here, but believe me, this technology works good. I've ridden this bike in multiple situations. It's fast on the pavement. When we're doing multi-surface, you're going from pavement to dirt to chunk to clay, and it's really nice to be able to have one bike that does that very well. So I'm going to keep this kind of short right now, but if you have any questions on the Specialized Diverge STR, hit me up at Biloxi Bicycle Works. I'm glad to answer those kind of questions for you. This bike is quite an investment, so before you make that investment, talk to someone who has actually ridden this bike, who's ridden it in a slower, friendly group pace, who's ridden it at a higher group pace, and who has raced this bike, and someone that rides this bike across town in the urban environments too. So just know we're super friendly here at Biloxi Bicycle Works. We're glad to help, and thank you for supporting the channel. If you like what we do, just hit like and subscribe, and we appreciate you. Thank you.